first time you start LDSscoreboard, you see that there is the button here moving. Is to attract your attention to the Open Scoreboard dialog. In this example, we will create a new scoreboard from scratch, a very simple one, designed to be used in a football match, so that you can see how is the creation and the addition of a scoreboard process. So when you click on this button, you see a dialog allowing you to select an existing scoreboard. We provide you a set of templates so that you can start building your own scoreboard more easily. But in this example, we will create a new one. Just click in the new button, and now we can edit the new scoreboard. As you see, the active scoreboard is the new scoreboard, right? So we click in the edit button and we appear in the scoreboard editor. The scoreboard editor is divided into tabs. One is the slide addition toolkit and the other one is the timers, counters, slides and settings. We will start by this one. The first thing we will do is we will set a name for our scoreboard. In this case will be football demo, and we will select a file name. We will leave the .xml extension. Here we have a specific configuration. In this example, we will not set it. If we set it to zeros, it will use the application default configuration. We will see this configuration in the next video. Let's leave it the specific configuration this way, without touching it. The first thing I will do is I will create a set of counters. I will count the local score, the guest team score, and in which half are we in the moment. So we will create the local score counter, just clicking in new counter. We will use a sequential counter because we want a counter that is 1, 2, 3, 4 in sequential order. We have other options, for example, for tennis, 0, 15, 13, 14, maybe equals, advance, etc. Right? We will leave a sequential order in this example. We will create a second counter, will be the guest score, and we will create another one that is to take care of the in which half we are, right? The next thing that we will do is we will create a timer to control the time of the match. So let's click on new timer and we will select as display name match time. It will be an ascending timer. It will start at 0, 0. I will not set the end, right? I will leave it running because I want that in the minute 45 it continues counting if there is an extension. So I will not set an end. I don't want a bell to ring, so or a siren that we can configure. We will see in a later video. And there will be no precision at the end. So this will be the match time. With this we can create a first slide to present this information. I will click in a new slide and I will set the background color to black. The name of the slides will be I will set it as standard scoreboard. And when I have created a new slide, I can go to the slide addition toolkit. In this case, we have this slide represented here. If you have many slides, they will appear here, and we will set some labels. First, we will create a new label that will be in the top left. I will say this is the local team. I would like to use this font and the font size like this. I will place it here and I will duplicate it so that I can have the same settings for the guest team. Of course, you can set the names. The next thing I want to do is I want to see the scores. So I will create a new score. I will set this size. I would like this kind of font. You can install any font you want in your computer. For example, this size. And will be a standard counter, will not be an automatic counter. We will talk about automatic counters in another video. And it will be the local score. Here you can select what score you want. Having this ready, I will duplicate the object again, so that I don't have to reset all the settings. I will place it in place, but this one will be the guest score. And I will set as a half counter a set of dotted counters. I could create a normal counter. It is not in the same height. Now it is. Sorry. But as an example, I will create a dotted counter. I will place it here in the middle. I will resize it. And I don't want 5 dots. I just want 2 dots. I will adjust the size. And the unset color will be transparent, and the set color will be, for example, midnight blue, as an example, right? And the counter that will define how many dots will be lightened will be the half, okay? And now, of course, we need to set the time. We go to the timers, and we insert a new timer. We will place it here. We will make it big enough, and we will use as a font family. For example, the sky font, the same font that I have used here. It will be big, perfect. And as we only have one timer, we will only have one match timer here available. So we will leave it here. What format we will use? We can define a set of formats, right? We can use many of them. We will use the auto resolution, right? Or you can use the minute second. This is maybe a better option for football, right? So once we have it, we just save the scoreboard and we are ready to use. Here we have a small view of the scoreboard, and you could rename your slide, duplicate it, copy it in another scoreboard, in another file, or just delete it. We will talk about these options in a later video. Another thing that we may want to do is to set, for example, a background image. You could click on Insert an Image, you go to the backgrounds, and maybe you would like to set an image as a background. Just click on the image you want, place it at the top, at the bottom, and then you click move to the back. And here you have the image as a background, right? Maybe this is not the best image for a background scoreboard, but it's a good example. Now we can save the configuration, and here we have our standard scoreboard. If we click on this button, our scoreboard will open in this area. We will see how to configure this area and how to make sure that your window is not on top of the scoreboard. It can be on top of the scoreboard, of the projection, because it is not in production, right? When you set production mode, you cannot go in front. It will be a window that will be always in front. If you are using a demonstration mode, you will see our advert each 30 seconds, more or less. In this situation, you can manage your scores by clicking in the up and down arrows of the scores area and start the timer, stop it, and going back to and resetting it. You can control these values, of course, from the terminals, is to say mobile devices that can be connected to this application, or using the HTTP API from your own applications. Of course, this is not so special. The idea is that you can select what value you want, start the timer, stop it, and when you reach the second half, you can change the value of the timer. For example, 0, 45, 0. Right, so it will set the time that you want. Sometimes it's a bit tricky, the format, but easy to use. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for your time. In the next one, we will talk about the configuration settings. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.